double check. Whoa, this feels weird. I haven't been here for a while. I've been out of town filming stuff for a bunch of really cool people, and I haven't had a chance to be here and do my usual reviews, which I need to do because there are a ton of stuff in this garage right now that were either sent to me from companies or stuff that I have been pushing off. I just don't know what to review that I have time for. Let's go look around. All right, I think I'm gonna need some light. Let's bring this light along. All right, what do I have over here? All right, so I got some knives from Odin Wolf, but we'll get to that. I have 2 propane tank holders. That's gonna be cool, but I don't have time to do a DIY right now, but that's coming out really soon. And speaking of tank holders, I got this at the expo, which will allow me to hold a propane tank around a spare tire. What's on the other side? Got Max Trax brackets, the winch rope from Max Trax that I have to replace my winch rope with that, but I don't have time for that right now either. Oh, you know what? Right here. There you go. All right, let's go bring this. So this is a tripod from a company called 3-Legged Thing. I know, tripods, I did one already. Yeah, but I'm still in the search for like the perfect tripod. So I like to do reviews sometimes that are not necessarily overlanding gear, but overland related. And tripods are one of those things. Many of us, whether you're putting stuff up on YouTube or not, you want to capture your adventures, and having a tripod is just necessary. I talked about this already in my last tripod review. I actually had 2 companies send me a tripod to review after my main one from Manfrotto. This one, it broke, which I loved. It had its own issues, but it broke on me. This is not even a tripod. What is this? My other Manfrotto one, this is the Be Free. With this one, the legs can sometimes get stuck. And then Ulanzi sent me the tripod, and this is what I reviewed a couple of weeks ago. Super duper light. When my Manfrotto one broke, I had reached out to Ulanzi and to these guys. This company is called 3-Legged Thing, and first of all, I like the name like a lot. It's like really creative, really unique. All their tripods have names, and when you go on their website, you basically fill out like a little kind of questionnaire thing on what kind of work you do. And I put, travel, video, some photography, and then they'll recommend a tripod for you, and they recommended the J tripod with a fluid head. So we're gonna go look at this together. This thing comes with a case, which is awesome. I like tripods that come with cases. This feels like an actual case with pockets and everything in here. Also has some straps that you could attach something to so you can carry it like a sling. In here, I've got tripod plates and Allen keys. And I don't use these because I already have Arca Swiss set up on my camera. If you don't know what Arca Swiss is, it's basically a universal system that'll just allow you to clamp onto anything, and that's already set up on the camera, so I don't necessarily need to use what theirs comes with, but I'll keep it in the bag as a spare in the event that I do need to. So inside that, you also have this mesh pocket with a zipper, so you can store a bunch of stuff in there. You can put camera batteries or whatever it is you might need. It's good that they just give you kind of that organization. I do wish you could choose the color of your case though, because they sent me blue, and I wish it would have matched the color of the tripod, which is black, but that's just nitpicking. This is the tripod, and it is nice. Like, you can feel just how solid this thing is. I like the graphics on it. This feels like a legit tripod, like one that's not going to break. It is heavier. Oh, inside the case you also have another little pouch here, and then you get your strap, and then there's also Velcro in here to hold your tripod in place. You can tell I haven't done a review in a while because I am like all over the place and I'm kind of rusty as to what to say. We'll get there. This is probably the nicest tripod that I've owned, like legit. I gravitated to these guys because of their branding and just the way that they have this vibe about them. They call them three-legged things, like every one is like kind of inspired by something, and this one, the J, looks like it's inspired by like Swamp Thing or whatever. But you can kind of see that in the design of this thing, like even in the legs itself, there are these like tentacles, looks like octopus tentacles on them. And then like right over here, you have like this spider web kind of vibe. And then you have these logos kind of everywhere. It has this like, yeah, that's a three-legged thing kind of look to it. This is a fluid head, and it has a really big fluid head on there, and this is also Accessory compatible. Now, the way this one works though, is you basically just loosen this, and this plate comes off, and you put this on your camera. This is probably where my downside is, and not because of the design. A lot of you will probably use this. If all you're gonna do is put a tripod mount to your camera, and you're gonna leave it that way, cool, just put this on, you're pretty much set. Except that the way my camera is set up is I have a small rig cage on it. The cage has Accessory that goes horizontally, and this mounts to this kind of vertically like this. So I would have to use it this way if I wanted to continue using the cage that's on my camera, which means that this fluid head, as nice as it might be, I would need to put this on there because this is what fits in this kind of head. I'm still really liking the small rig head a ton, just because it's so compact, it's fluid. This is also very fluid, by the way. It like slides very, very nicely. And then you have this bigger handle here. So if I were to use this, it's probably not going to be my travel tripod. This might stay as my travel tripod just because it's more compact. Like all I need is just this little handle right here anyway. I don't need something that's super long, and I can kind of use it with that. And then when I'm doing reviews here at home, or if I know I'm going like by way of vehicle, like if I want something a little bit more sturdy, this is probably what I'll bring with me, because I can just chuck this in the vehicle and continue on. It is heavier. This is lighter, much, much lighter. You can feel the weight, but this being heavy is what's gonna make this, I think it'll stick on the ground a lot better without me having to counterweight it. Although if I do need to weigh it down, there's a little hook down here that you can put like a sandbag or your backpack and hang it off here so that it stays planted. Now, one of the big gripes I've had when it came to tripods were the leg mechanisms. The Manfrotto, I've been having issue with those legs like forever. Now the Ulanzi, I mentioned in my last review video that I like the way this works because it's only one knob, and then you turn it like 3 times and you can extend it wherever you want and then tighten it with one twist. And then when you're ready to close shop, you just one turn. But then on this last trip to Moab and stuff, I had a hard time because sometimes I didn't need the full leg extended, and I ended up having to, you kind of have to do all the turns, kind of bring it out, then kind of choose the length you want, then tighten it back up again. That's like a couple of steps. So it became a little bit more of a hassle doing it that way, just because you have to figure out where all the turns are and then collapse it all down. This separates them. Let's see. So if I just needed just that part, I'm good. The action is smooth though, super smooth right now. Yeah, I don't feel it jiggling. The Manfrottos, it would jiggle whenever I tried to open and collapse the legs. That sounded inappropriate. Also, because of these tentacle looking shape thingies, it makes it really good to grip. Like you can take your 2 fingers, just kind of grab it in those spots and turn what you need to turn. I like that a lot. So speaking of these feet, here's a nice touch. They sent over this kit, and they called this kit Vans, and these are basically spiked feet that you could put at the bottom of these. So if you want to, you can unscrew these off and then put these on. And then what's great is they also give you the cap. So if you don't need it to be spiked, go ahead and screw this on, and you basically have bald feet. You can also take this off and put this feet on that, and then put a cap on there if you don't need it. And you basically, if you take all 3 feet out and just put these, you have a desktop tripod. Having these is really good, especially when I'm doing a lot of video or photography, maybe in sand or in dirt, and you want to be able to spike down and not have the tripod move. That just gives you a little bit more stability for your tripod, so you know it's not gonna fall on you. And then let's see how smooth this thing will collapse. This collapses pretty quickly, so you just press the button. Let's see how it works with this one. Yeah, see? This is smooth also. Works, look at that, really easily. You can remove the fluid head. I could remove the fluid head of this and then put in whatever fluid head I want. On the fluid head though, with this one, you get a bunch of leveling stuff. You do have a leveler here. You also have a leveler right there, and you also have your degrees. I do like this bigger base here, right? It has a much bigger base than this one. So you can pretty much put any kind of fluid head on here or any kind of tripod head on here. This is a kind of a swiveling, you see that? This allows you to really dial in your horizontal line. So once you get this on there, then if you're like still on unstable ground and you really needed to get like fine tune your level, then you can kind of move this around. Now, both of these will go flat to the ground. This one actually has like a leg extension so that you can put the leg on there, and then that'll allow you to bring this up even higher. I removed it because I don't really need it. I've found that my tripod legs suffice for the height that I need, and I removed it because I need this to be able to go flat to the ground, because I do a lot of shooting that way from that angle, so I want it to be flat and laid down. This, same thing. This goes flat, and then you're good to go with that as well. The difference though is that you don't get that extra extension. Tripod heads aside, I mean, these are both really great tripods. I mean, they work really, really good. I do like this one a little bit better. It is heavier, but it's just sturdier. It feels stronger. It feels like higher quality. Plus, having the 4 different kind of leg attachments here will allow me to customize how tall I want this to be, versus, again, this one, you kind of have to pull the whole thing out just to be able to get it to the way you want it. But as far as like air travel is concerned, this is probably what I'm going to continue to go with, just because it's lighter. When I'm carrying a backpack, I don't want to be trudging through an airport with heavy gear, and the more I can lighten that, the better. And so this will work out really well. Just kind of drop this into a backpack. Plus, you can see it's shorter, so it has less of a footprint. But overlanding and camping and gigs that are in town or whatever, this is probably going to be my go-to. But I'm liking both of these a lot. They both have some use, and to be honest, Discman Photo, as much as I don't like the way this performs, this has found use as my slider tripod anyway. So having all these tripods just allows me to create whatever it is I need to create. That's been my problem. I've been trying to find the one tripod that does it all, and that's just not gonna be the case, because there are different scenarios where you need different tripods to do different tasks. And maybe I should stop looking for the perfect tripod, because it doesn't exist, but instead kind of look at the system that I've built up here. Just like we do with overlanding gear, sometimes not one size fits all, and you need different things to do different jobs. At the end of the day, these are all tools, and Having more tools just gives me more flexibility. That is it. I know this video was broken as hell just because I haven't reviewed anything in a while, but I do have some really amazing stuff that I'm going to be reviewing and installing and stuff over the next few weeks, so stick around for that. If you did like this video though, as broken as it was, please make sure you smash, actually, nope, don't smash, swipe right on that like button. Subscribe to our channel and also hit that notification bell so we can let you be informed of when new videos come out. And if it moves you, support us on Patreon. It helps out this channel and at the same time gives you access to all of our videos earlier than everyone else. It also gives you access to our live streams that we do at the end of each month, which I'm actually going to be doing next week. And also don't forget to follow us on Instagram at, let me make some room, Baptism Overland. My name is Asia Sampson, and I will see you next time.